of 7 in the part of town nearest the plant had blood lead levels way above safe norms. Several studies have shown that toxic emissions of heavy metals and gases still exceed safe levels and in some cases have increased. In a survey made earlier this year, the Peruvian Labor Association said, "In our analysis of the air quality of the city of La Oroya over the last 5 years, it is clear that through 2006 there has been no significant reduction in lead emissions." It added sulfur dioxide emissions, which cause acid rain, have increased to 7 times the permitted level.
Emissions today are at their lowest level in the history of the complex at La Oroya.
But is that still too high? It's still causing contamination which is damaging people's health. It's still too high.
We are working intensely with all our resources. Again, as a company, and I have to emphasize on what I'm telling you, share an immense concern for the severity of the problems at La Oroya. But again, what we can do as a company is to continue to work in improving our environmental performance. But the final definite solution to all the severe problems at the city goes beyond what we can accomplish by the improvement of our environmental performance.
Here in the old part of La Oroya, you can clearly see how the toxic fumes from that side of the valley where the smelter is drift over onto this side. The company line is that the population here are affected by lead-laden dust going back more than 80 years to when this plant was first built. But most medical experts agree that the single greatest contaminant is these daily emissions.
The
emissions of lead, arsenic, cadmium and sulphurous gases like sulphur dioxide are always increasing. This is the reality. So what we really need to talk to the company about is how long it's going to refuse to accept this reality. Because here we're not just talking about figures, we're talking about human beings.
Many residents still don't speak out against the smelter, but not everyone is keeping quiet.
As long as we don't have a government which cares about the environment and the health of the town, this situation is not going to change.
Do Run says it needs 2 more years to completely modernise the plant. Meanwhile, the pollution in La Oroya remains so pervasive that even babies are being born with high blood lead levels. Powerful economic forces help explain the contradictions at La Oroya. The Peruvian government want and need foreign investment from companies such as Do Run. Environmental concerns have led the government to recently impose a fine on the company for not keeping up its promises to cut emissions. But Do Run is appealing. Peru's metal exports are the driving force behind its economic boom, and the government, so far, isn't willing to risk slowing it down. Dan Collins, BBC News, in La Oroya, Peru.